So just to give you an intro for Barry and Mark, you've arrived, hopefully you're on the right plane at the Trusted Referral Network weekly meeting. We are a network of about 170 or so independent marketing professionals. That means, we provide a service, a marketing service, sales, could be marketing, sales, advertising, and usually the members are either solopreneurs or we've, part of agencies that are up to 20 people. That's not a hard stop, but that tends to be the size that we attract. And the idea is to share knowledge, connect with people, collaborate, find people that you could build a trusting relationship with, collaborate, refer business to. And the best way to do that, of course, is to meet people in an environment like this and then get to know them by connecting one-on-one. And so it's always a good idea to put your LinkedIn in the chat so that people can find you. And take notes. Our website, trustref.net, you could look people up by their business, so you have to remember their business name. And at some point, when I upgrade the system, which is in process right now, you'll be able to look them up by their first name or last name as well. We take 2 or 3 minutes, tell people what's going on, what's new, what you do, how you can help each other. And if you're looking for a particular, if you have a particular ask, this is the place to make that ask, because that's what networking is all about. And if we can help each other out, we all benefit from that. So I put in the chat the order, more or less, in which people showed up. So Rajiv, Mark, Audrey. Mark, you're new to this, but Rajiv will give you a pretty good sense of what it's all about. And you're, from our call just a couple days ago, you're a good pitcher. So Rajiv, take it away. You got 3 minutes.
Awesome. Thanks a ton, Michael. Thank you for doing this while on the road. Your commitment is nothing short of stellar. So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
So hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. My name is Rajiv Jadhav. I work with R Square Media. We're an award-winning online visibility and reputation management company that helps clients be seen or not be seen online. Now, I think all of us are familiar with the be seen part of it because people want to be seen usually on the number one on Google or YouTube or Facebook or things like that. The SEO part of it. And I think that's a relatively mainstream idea now. So we do that, crazy outcomes, SEO on steroids, et cetera. But the flip side of that is when clients don't want to be seen. And you must be like scratching your head wondering like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Why would anyone not want to be seen? Well, I have an answer for you. If you've been the victim of trolls or nasty people online that are just slinging mud and tarnishing your good name with spreading misinformation, then that could really do some real serious damage to your brand, to your business, and to existing customers, because they'll sow seeds of doubt. So what we do is we delete all that junk from Google. Yes, you heard me, delete. We delete all that stuff. And no, this is not hacking. We are working in cooperation with Google by leveraging our contacts at Google. That's how we do this. And we have a success guarantee. So this way it makes it super easy, guaranteed results or your money back, as simple as that. And my ask is for to meet with all of you to explore synergies so I can figure out who in my network I can link you to. And specifically, if any one of you knows sports agents, sports attorneys, or like music managers, people like that, or even athletes, then those are the people that typically want to meet somebody like me, because they're usually trying to do some sort of a deal with Disney or Nike or Hulu or whoever, and some junk online is killing that deal. It's DOA, dead on arrival. And they kind of need me to rescue them, to salvage the deal so that they can get paid. And that's what they care about. So that's the reason why an introduction there would be hugely appreciated. R Square Media, be seen or not be seen. Back to you, Michael.
Good timing, with 19 seconds left. So as you will see, Rajiv his business is categorized under SEO and reputation management. I always think of him when it comes to reputation management. It definitely does make him stand out. And our first guest, Mark, is also in the SEO space, has a different angle on SEO. I put everybody on mute except for the speaker, because I set it up into speaker mode, so the person who's speaking comes up. So Mark, take it away. You should come right up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, Michael, and it was great to meet with you and dive deep into what I'm about, because I've been an owner of a marketing company, and I started out as a legend marketing company doing everything for everybody. But about 14 years ago, I did my big pivot, and I started offering ranked delivery services, or SEO, for SEO companies. So I do SEO for SEO companies. So they have a term for that. It's called white label. And I've been doing that for a while and grew my business, doubled it, tripled it, except I wanted to get even more. And so I started setting up white label SEO companies for digital marketing niche companies, as well as lead gen companies. And so those are the referrals that I work with. I love a lead gen company. I love a niche digital marketing company. And I can do a really good job with that, with my 30-day trials that I started 14 years ago for just digital marketing companies, because I found quickly that I never could get upfront payments with digital marketing owners. They always wanted to pay me in the rears. Well, you see how you do. And so that just became the model ever since. When I started SEO game, of course, it was Wild West, and now it's actually, there's some really cool things about Google now with the vital core reporting and site auditor tools that you get in your search console that basically just say, hey, if you just follow these rules and you have a C grade in your site auditor, or you have a B grade in your core vitals, I could tweak with it just a little bit and show you how to do it. And then you won't even have to hire me. And if you just follow those instructions, those tools will assure your clients #1 rankings. And I love those tools, especially those. And there's a new tool that just came out for Bing, which you can get Bing rankings, which I've never been able to do, but I now can get Bing rankings #1 really fast. So that's it.
And Mark, I won't get into your pricing, but Mark is very affordable. And if you have an interest in working with him as a partner and white labeling his work, or even just using him as somebody for your own services or for your own business, I think it's worth having a call with Mark.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. And do put your LinkedIn in the chat if you haven't already done so. Audrey.
I did.
Audrey Glover Dichter, you are up.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you again. And hi to the new people. So I'm an attorney, and I focus on advertising, marketing, and promotions law in English and Spanish. And basically, I work with marketers like yourselves to help keep clients legally compliant with all our marketing assets, whether online or offline, but especially online. I review for legal compliance on federal and state levels, sometimes even local, like New York City. And then I also review for intellectual property issues, like do they have licensing? Do they need licensing? Do they need to protect copyright, trademarks? And then as far as websites are concerned, I also draft all the privacy documents that they need, privacy policies, terms and conditions, disclaimers, disclosures, cookie policies. And then, of course, I work with your tech to do the ADA online compliance. I do the legal language, and I work with your tech to help them understand what the legal requirements are if they don't understand. So basically, my main focus is introductions to CMOs, well, obviously advertising professionals, because I find that the advertising professionals are the ones that know that this field of law exists. So they tend to be the ones to pull me in to help with clients who, by no other reason, but they don't know what they don't know, and what they don't know in this case can actually hurt them and their businesses. So I like to come in cases as early as possible, but I also do help clients. I represent them in front of the self-regulatory bodies, in front of federal and state agencies like the FTC, the FDA, the SEC, whatever it may be. And remember, if you are online, advertising online through either social media or your website, then you are technically advertising nationally and internationally. You are on the radar for everybody to see. And that includes federal and state agencies and all your competitors and your consumers. So it's important to keep all your marketing assets legally compliant, and that means substantiation, be transparent, be honest, support your claims. And if you're puffering, well, puffer for real. Don't try to pass it as a claim. Anyway, I'm here to support and help you, but you guys do. Just, work with you, alongside of you, making sure that, the legal compliance is there, and explain things to the client.
Thank you. Just right at the 3-minute mark. And Audrey, by the way, Audrey's based in Florida. Mark, you're out in California, is that correct?
Me?
Yeah, Mark Herrera, yeah.
Harry.
Harry.
I'm in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City. It was far west, but and then Rajiv is in New York. We have a bunch of people in the New York area, and some people may be wondering why do we have a lawyer in the group? Well, obviously because Audrey does advertising law, and even though it's not a marketing service, she is quote unquote a sponsor of the group because she sells and provides services to marketing organizations as well as most of us do. Okay, Rochelle, you are up. Take it away. Yes.
Okay, Rochelle from Dynamic Business Growth. And I always say it's dynamic business growth and not schlep along business growth. Okay, I'm on a rampage right now. We got to disrupt. We got to, we must disrupt boring, common, long-winded conversations about our business. It's unacceptable anymore. It's costing people, I can't even tell you how much money. And I'll give you a couple of examples. I'm on a tear right now around pricing, like a total tear. People, because they are not confident or succinct about what they do and the impact that it has, they're undercharging. So I work with I always say, when you talk about your business, are you storytelling or boring telling? Did you tell me an incredible story that based on that story, I understand your high level thinking and I am ready to write you a check? Yes or no? So I worked recently with a company that they work for non-for-profits. They do a lot of fundraising and they're doing it a lot online, etc. And I looked at his fee and I said, this is like pretty pathetic. You're totally undercharging. Not that I was, not that I beat around the bush. Like, let's just get real here. And I told him that if he triples his fees and lost 60% of his people, he'd still be making more money. He'd still be ahead of the game. And I said, and he was like all emotional and I said, let's this is a math problem. Let's add and subtract. So that's what we did. We figured it out. He can lose 60% and he still makes more money. So he tripled his fees. And and the 60% of the clients that he thought he would lose, he didn't lose 60%. He did lose some, maybe 25, 30, but not the 60. And he's doing a heck of a lot better. We are creating stories that people are saying, oh my God, you make that kind of an impact for me. Yeah, I am going to pay you more money. I am going to pay you more money. So what's the story that you're saying that based on that, I get to see? There was another person I worked with in marketing. She created these extraordinary results for people and she was so undercharging. And I said, not on my watch. You have to change this. Now, you can't just change it for no reason. You've got to change it and change your story. change the way you speak about your business? What's the language that has these sound bites in it that somebody's going to say, Mamma Mia, I need that. So if you need Mamma Mia language that you feel that you can create more impact in people and you become memorable. So my goal in life is for people to go from unclear to unforgettable. And again, it's Rochelle from Dynamic Business Growth. Now, I've been attempting to put something in the market for I don't know how long, and things have been, I can't even tell you the issues that I've had. So God willing, at some time within the next month, I will be creating a program called Ultimate Power Pitch. When I get more specific, I will give the group the details of it, and hopefully you'll join me and we can get some really dynamic pitches here.
Great, thank you. We've had a couple people join us since we started. So Keith Reynolds, Lisa Merriam, and Scott Lang joined. But next will be Stacey, then Mark, Iorio, then Henning. So Stacey, take it away. And if everybody else would stay on mute, that would be great. If you have a question, put it in the chat. Stacey, you still with us? I don't see her. Maybe she, no, she says you're on mute, Stacey. Yeah, everybody's on mute.
Okay. Hi, my name is Stacey Mathis, and I own a website called Legal Copywriting Central. And what we do is, for those of you who don't know, we're a group of lawyers, paralegals, and one law student, and we write marketing copy for and content for lawyers, legal associations, and legal industry vendors, people who sell products and services to attorneys. And just to give you an idea of something that we did, I can't show it to you at the moment, but I'm just going to read you something that we received and had to work with. This is an attorney's bio on his website, and this is to attract clients. I'm not going to read everything that he's wrote, but he implements comprehensive intellectual property protection strategies for emerging markets, opportunities, and creates patent portfolios that maximize company valuations. He's developed trademark and patent strategies in diverse groups, industries, including blah, 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 bio this, bio that, bio. Okay, fine. And this is what goes on and on. It's stultifyingly dull and technical, and nobody gives a shit. This is what we revamp that, and we make him sound approachable, less intimidating, more fun to work with. He's in an innovative field. A lot of the people he's working with are startup company owners. A lot of them are millennials. He's not too, what is the word, ageist, but he's an older gentleman. He's about 75. He's still going strong. He's got more energy than I do, but he doesn't sound like it. So we take that and just basically throw it out the window, start all over again, and make him sound like an amazing lawyer you want to work with. And that's what we do. And we do it in websites, press releases, bios, your social media page, whatever you use to market and promote your business. We write that messaging or revamp that messaging to make people want to work with you. That's what we do.
So different from Audrey, who writes legal copy for marketers, and obviously legal language. Stacey does marketing copy and language for legal people.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Mark, Iorio.
Thanks, Michael. Cool stuff. Great. Thanks, Stacey. I love what I do. I am a partner at BCAP Partners. We have it's a brand and culture alignment process that my partner and I have developed. It's scientifically based. We get everyone in the organization to row in the same direction and align people with their purpose through a 4-step methodology. And it's the most powerful thing that I've ever been involved in. I love doing what I do every single day. Rajiv and I had an awesome conversation this morning about it. What ends up happening is as a result of the organization or your team finding its North Star through our process, we're able to get everyone rowing in the same direction toward this purposeful direction. A lot of silos are broken down in the organization. It becomes much more collaborative, much more team involved. The passive aggressive behavior goes away. and it becomes a lot more productive and much more valuable as an organization. I can take you through the step-by-step process. It takes a little more than 3 minutes. But if you want to learn more about BCAT, it's getbcat.com. You can look at my LinkedIn profile and give me a buzz. But it is it's an awesome process, right, Rajiv? And Keith.
That's right. So Mark is getting to know more and more people in the group, and obviously you could find him under BCAT on trustref.net.
Yep.
And he's based in Princeton, correct?
Just south. Yep.
Just south of Princeton, right? Princeton Junction or something like that.
Do you have any time left on your pitch?
Yeah, he has a.
Yes,
I was just going to give you a kudos. We worked with Al, and we did the session and then the review of the BCAT with our team. Really got us in alignment with the brand that we were trying to present and how we needed to behave on calls. And it really led to a great discussion, and I highly recommend the feedback you get from BCAT.
I love you, brother. Thank you.
Thank
To be
you.
my system where I tell everybody to shut up and we do all the.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, that doesn't exactly work.
I like the deleting the passive aggressive behavior. That's magic. All right, Henning, you are up. If everybody else would go on mute, that'd be great.
Yes, I envy Rochelle for her energy and her memorable lines that are part of her pitch. I'm a lot more drier. My wife says that I'm German, a Virgo, and a white male, and so I can't really project any energy outwardly. It's all inside of me. I'm a matchmaker for fractional sales leadership roles. I place executives into roles like a fractional VP of sales, fractional CRO, fractional CSO. We operate off a pre-vetted roster of over 300 executives at this point, and that's really the value we bring to a business. And what I look for are introductions to business owners, founders, CEOs that have a challenge in sales and that could benefit from bringing in a fractional skill set. And looking at all the placements we make, there are 3 distinct scenarios. The first one is a pre-revenue company where you have a tech founder that really doesn't know how to get sales started other than going to friends and family and selling the product himself. But how do you build a sales organization? Process, playbook, messaging, an org chart, hiring plan, hiring, onboarding, coaching of reps. Second scenario is a founder-led sales team of 2 or 3 reps, and the founder is now ready to give up the responsibility and bring in a professional. And the third scenario are companies that are stuck, companies that have grown founder-led to $1 million or to $5 million, and that now have plateaued, and they realize that the skill set that got them there is not going to get them to 10 million or 15 million. And so they need to bring somebody else in with a different skill set. And in all those scenarios, we can help and find somebody from our roster that is a perfect fit for this particular situation. Thank you, Michael.
Wonderful, thank you. And certainly anybody who works with startups should talk to Henning, especially if they need help with their sales management, bringing in professional salespeople who they wouldn't be able to afford on a full-time basis.
Henning, do you only work in the US? Do you work with Canada? Because I would imagine a lot of your places, they're all virtual anyway.
Yes, and I try, yes. So I do work in Canada. I have either executives that are based in Canada or I have worked with Canadian companies that are coming to the US.
Henning, while you were talking and I was listening attentively, I just found all of your keywords that you should be #1 on the first page of Google for. I put it in the chat.
I have your name down to have a separate one-on-one with you. So
right.
I just thought it would be fun to just try and figure out what you're about. And I found all these great keywords. Would they look about right? Oh my goodness.
Definitely you guys should meet offline. I want to move on. David, Libby, take your 3 minutes.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you all. A lot of familiar faces. I'm David Libby with 2 Pins, and we accelerate startups to their exits. And what does that mean? So we had a startup in the security space, and he wanted to get acquired, and he was going to this RSA conference. It is the biggest security conference, one of the biggest in the country, out in San Francisco. So we suggested, if you really want to get attention at RSA, when the people are going into the conference, pull up in a black van and kidnap them. Get people dressed up in black outfits with a black face and like they're like kidnappers, you know, with the hoods and all that. Get out there, show them a card, ask them to come into your big van with no windows. So we kidnapped a number of highfalutin executives from the security conference, gave them a little tour around San Francisco, wined and dined them in the van, dropped them back off in time for their meetings. They got so much attention that IBM came knocking on the client's door and ended up acquiring the company for an undisclosed amount. So we use public relations, content, and social media marketing to help these companies accelerate to their exits. The exit could be a funding event, it could be acquisition, it could be an IPO. We have a number of experiences in this area. And right now I'm always looking for B2B tech startups that are Series A, 2 to 5 million in funding, 10 to 49 people, anywhere in the US. We also work with companies overseas that want to bring their startups to the US. So
Wonderful.
Good to see everyone. Thank you.
And David has done amazing work helping those clients, get bought by IBM, Google, et cetera. And based in the Bay Area, just east of Oakland, if I got that right.
That's right.
Barry Lowenthal.
Sunny, California.
Barry, welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Barry Lowenthal. Nice to meet all of you. And Michael, thank you for organizing this and allowing me to participate. I used to run a media agency called Media Kitchen, which was folded into another agency that is owned by the Stagwell Group. Stagwell is a holding company. And now I am starting to think about what's next for myself. And I don't have the answer. And so I'm just spending the next couple of months listening and observing and seeing how I feel as I have conversations like this and see what's of interest to me. And that is what I'm doing. So I'm starting the whole networking experience. And this is probably the first time that I've done a meeting like this. So this is good information for me. I will be journaling about my experiences in the morning, I'm sure. So thank you for letting me all participate. And it's nice to meet y'all.
Very good. I put myself on mute because there is some construction in this hotel. And I don't know if you hear it in the background, but Barry, where you're located where?
So I've been splitting my time between Palm Beach and New York. Currently, I'm down in Florida.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah, look up Barry. Did you put your LinkedIn? Okay, wonderful. Okay. As you see, we are spreading our wings. We have East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Mountain area. Ken Simon in New Jersey. You're up.
Oh, okay. Hi. Haven't seen everybody. I haven't been here in a while, so it's a pleasure to be back. Good seeing everybody. I'm Ken Simon, KBS Marketing. I work with small and mid-sized companies, helping them understand who their customers are, what their needs are, and helping them grow. Currently, I'm also, it's funny. I'm getting involved with. I've heard little snips of 2 companies that are actually I'm helping them raise capital. But one is located in the UK, and so they're going to stay in the UK right now. But that's like sort of like an insurance play. And then the other one is a rocket company that is located in Australia. So I'm getting involved with helping them with their pitch decks and their business plans and their marketing plans. I also have been working with a number of small businesses, startups that have been funded. One is a seed company that's been funded that I'm helping them. They want to get awareness so they could start their beta testing. So I'm trying to get people to sign up for their beta testing. So it's an email security type of company. Another company I'm working with is a restaurant recommender engine. So it's interesting. It's like all different places. I'm usually on B2B, and now I'm doing like all different industries. But I'm looking to help companies grow. And usually I work with B2B companies in the financial services and tech and services space. But lately I've been expanding out. So Ken Simon, KBS Marketing.
Okay, thank you, Ken. And Ken was the one who invited or he introduced me to Mark from SEO Game. So thank you for that.
Okay.
Jason from the LA area, you're up.
I am up. So my name is Jason Ciment. I formerly was a CPA and a lawyer, and I lived in New York. So I've done all the Jewish things, and now I live in LA. And I run a marketing agency. We're actually based out of Phoenix because my partner got married, started having kids, and said, I'm leaving LA and I'm going to buy a house in Phoenix for 20 cents on the dollar. And oh, wow, no, those keywords just showed up for Henning. We're sort of different than most other agencies. We don't have any salespeople. We've been doing it since 2005. We also have another company where we've invested a few $1 million in a e-commerce platform. It does much more than e-commerce. So I say why we're different. We build websites, whether it's WordPress or e-commerce, or I farm out Shopify type stuff, but we do the rankings and we do the advertising and we write content, and we have 15 people on the team and we do all the social media stuff. But I think what makes us, it feels different just from talking to the clients that we have, is that I don't even know how to use Photoshop. So my designer does it. So I'm very good at putting together the team of the people that handle each area of the business. And they seem to resonate with some kind of authenticity to what we're about. I don't know how to explain it or articulate it, but one guy yesterday was talking to me and I said to him, if you had a $20,000 PPC budget, we charge him $2,000. He goes, well, what if I went to 40? I said, if you didn't change the campaign, it would still be $2,000. He flew out of his chair and he was screaming at his partners. He said, that's the authenticity I'm talking about, not trying to sell us. So, and I'd already told him not to hire me right before that for social media. So it was like, I want the next deal as much as the next person, but we want the right kind of business and the right kind of clients. And we tend to get very intimate with our clients. We don't take competitors in the same space. And that's it. This is a fun group to be part of. Michael's putting together a really wonderful, intimate community. So it really resonates. Henning and I spent a long time talking after one of the meetings. So I think this is really good for the people that are new to this. It's great community. So thank you. I got time. It's all right.
Thank you. You know, I was on mute, so trying to again block out whatever construction noise is happening behind me. And Jason has also been wonderful. Has introduced me to a number of people. Has brought people into the group, and so we're always looking for more people to feel out the group, get a sense for it, and see what they can get out of it and what they can contribute to it. So Keith Reynolds, you are up. You still there, Keith? I certainly put you on mute. Keith.
No, I'm not on mute.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm Keith Reynolds, and I'm cash today. I was at the hospital for a 10-minute Moderna jab, and it lasted over an hour because the hospital computer system went down. So I'm running a little late, but got my favorite Cubs hat on. I address the old saw that content is king, and everyone's trying to figure out what to say, how to say it. It's there's a lot of new skills involved, and I've been on the brand side and the agency side. I've been a CMO of a number of startups, and I'm really good at standing stuff up quickly. And I've kind of relied on a process that I created about 7 or 8 years ago, after having some really amazing experience early on in building a media property, on basically turning your marketing department into a media company and thinking like a publisher and doing what it takes to build an audience and get butts in seats, and not just lots of butts, but the right butts. And so that really came down to having a content strategy, just like a media company would. How are you going to make money with media? And so I've created this 7-bucket approach that I wrote a book about, and then I wrote another book about, and I got it's very easy to teach people. And when you stand in front of a whiteboard and get people all thinking about it this way, everyone knows what to do. And then you build the plan and you take it to the CFO, and you've thought through how you're going to make money with your content. You've got a content strategy that everyone signs off on, even if it's you, even if you're the entrepreneur and you know, it's this or your bigger boat. You got to look at your marketing like and so much more media oriented. But even publishers put on events, right? Whether you're in the consumer space and you do the wedding show and you're the Hearst publication, or you know, you're a B2B magazine and you run a conference. These are tried and true approaches to getting the right people to see what you have on offer. And instead of selling advertising and getting sponsors, you want to get a lead, and a lead has a particular value to your business, and that's different than any other business. And so I started this because in 2010, I was running a website for a startup. We had some Homeland Security secret sauce that we were trying to sell to the government, and we ran out of money. We'd been out to Vegas and Atlanta and all the security shows. How am I doing on time, Michael?
Another 5 seconds.
All right. And
I gave him some of mine now. It's all right.
Thank you.
Finish
I
up
basically
your
was able to get an email over the transom asking me to testify to Congress, which got us down to DC, which got us out to Sandia National Laboratory. And we sold our product and had it evaluated. And that to me was like, how do you create that cookie trail? And I now have a consulting agency to help people create that experience for themselves.
And Keith is very structured in his approach. He's even got a book about his 7-step approach. And I'm sure he will sell it to you for, I don't know what the price is, but
$10 on Amazon or free on my website.
All right, there you go. Save $10, go straight to his website, publio.io.
Yeah, it's in the chat, folks. Thank you so
find
much.
him again on trustref.net under Publio or Publio. Lisa Merriam, so good to have you as a guest in our group today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it. I'm a Hmong refugee, so been missing networking quite a bit with the demise of Hmong. I'm on the board of directors at the AMA, but it's not the same. I am a consultant, have been a consultant since 2003, came out of McCann Erickson and Deloitte Digital. Where I do most of my work is brand strategy and content strategy and production. And Mark, I'm an SEO nerd. I think there was other SEO people there, but like, I'll come up to you at a cocktail party and talk to you forever about Penguin, whatever, you know. And because I'm a writer, and I think if you're a writer and you don't understand SEO, you're the tree falling in a forest. And I work with a mix of large companies, did the email and SEO content work for MasterCard's upcoming cybersecurity event, working on selling upfront for the Game Show Network, which is a lot of fun. I've spent all day with Jeopardy. So that was a lot of fun. And I do work a lot with private equity-backed, fast growth companies. I am in charge of member experience for the Family Office Association of the 400 wealthiest people around the world. And I'm always looking for fun things to do for them in the midst of putting together a Navy SEAL experience for them, where we're going to pick them up by helicopter and make them suffer. So a little bit of mix of everything. And I have a book, Roman and Littlefield published this a few months ago, Weaponized Marketing. It's how insurgencies, whether it's ISIS or Canadian truckers, how they use marketing to get their message across. It's a textbook, unfortunately, so it's priced like a textbook, but I would, it's too expensive for my mother to buy, so I don't expect any of you to buy it, but there we go. So that's my 2 seconds. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. And Lisa, there's definitely a trend, and it had nothing to do with the cat. You
Sorry.
do work for the Navy SEALs. There's some military connection there. Did you grow up in a military family?
No, well, my dad was in the Air Force to get through college, but not really. No, I just know a lot of SEALs, and I find them very compelling, and they are also very entrepreneurial. So I do give a lot of work to them to help them with their businesses.
That's great. And
then they help me. I mean, how do you find people to dump billionaires out of a helicopter into the ocean?
I know a few that I'd like to dump in the ocean. Okay. Last but not least, okay, Scott Lang, and then I'll go. Scott, I hope you're still here with us. You'll be on mute, so you're gonna have to unmute yourself.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. There's an old saying in New York, if you're 10 minutes late, you're on time. So I was only 10 minutes late. Sorry for being late today. The weather and everything being what it is. A lot of you we've met before. Lisa, it's great to see you here. And Jason back again. I will take my remaining time and just reiterate a lot of what you already know. I'm a consultant also, but I focus on partnerships and alliances. And I think one thing that I never really distinguished is what's the difference in my practice between partnerships and alliances. So partnerships would be, I just recently got a grant from JP Morgan Private Bank for the Black History Awards reception that'll be Friday, produced by the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. I'm currently working on a Women's History Month event for, again, the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, and I'm talking to companies that you would expect, like the Ultas and the Sephoras and some other brands. When we had the first live business expo back at the Edison Ballroom in September of last year for the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, which is one of my clients, we got really close, but never made it to Party City because we were promoting, Julie Roman wanted to promote the idea of New York's back out to party. Unfortunately, we all had that hubris that the vaccination was immunity, not just prevention or a minimization of this virus storm. The alliances that I do are a little different, and it's a lot like a lot of you. I work with a number of companies as a consultant in marketing for demand generation, sales, business development. It's all really, nothing happens until something is sold, is what Peter Drucker said. So they look to me and say, how do we sell it? And I either will help them with that, but really it's principally digital marketing, and I go to different resources. So for example, I'm working with a couple of data houses. I'm working with ESPs and DSPs. I'm putting together teams that are alliances to execute the program. Generally, I'm involved in strategy with that client and then executing the program. So you've heard me talk about UPS. You've heard me talk about Jane Parker's baked goods. I'm now talking to a group of physicians, insurance, let's just call it broadly physicians insurance. And I'm going to ask if anyone has a recommendation. Jason, this might be up your alley. I don't know, about reaching independent primary physicians who are not part of a large group like the Langone, NYU Langones, Northwells, or maybe out there Humana, Jason, or those type, but the independent primary care physician and the pediatrician. And that's a challenge that this particular company's asked me to help them solve. I am working with also new business development for myself to look to get new clients. So this is, basically what I do.
Thank you, Scott. And based in New York City, absolutely.
I have one quick question. Did Sarita make her presentation today? Did I miss that?
Her presentation is on, I think, on the 24th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. My mistake.
I believe, and you have to sign up by tomorrow. And Sarita Jackson, who was introduced by Jason Ciment, who's also out in the Los Angeles area, does market research for people who are interested in exporting into new markets or importing from abroad into the US. And she's doing a piece on global trade and business strategy. It was in the newsletter. If you can't find it, look for anything you might have received from me in the past day or two from trustref.net, Michael M. Bendit at trustref.net, and that's the newsletter.
Well, one thing if I can say, is that I've had a call with Sarita. I have a client in Rome that is importing or exporting really food. So that is, I wanted to say, it really is a very, very knowledgeable.
Yeah, that's a good connection because she focuses largely on agricultural products, including food. I didn't miss anybody yet before I go. Speak up now if I did. Okay, you had your chance. I'll take it away. So Michael Bendit is my name. People think of me as the software guy. My company is Software Development Resources. And the reason they think of me as the software guy is not because I do any programming, but because I work with about 10 different teams with a pretty broad range of skills. So if you have a need for, this type of skill set, integrating Shopify with, in the current case with an ERP system, the name slips my mind right now, NetSuite. Have any of my teams done that? Well, I have a number of teams that do work with Shopify, and one of them has, in fact, not only done that, but they also built a connector between Shopify and NetSuite. So people come to me when they don't know where to go for software development resources. As I said, I have about 10 different teams. Most of my work is done with what I refer to as my dual shore teams. And the reason is because the client's working with somebody here in the US, but they're saving a bunch of money because most of the developers are offshore. Offshore meaning in really 3 areas: South and Central America, Eastern Europe, and South Asia. And so instead of paying 150 an hour, they're paying something like 60 or 70 an hour. And there are also clients, this one that I just mentioned, the one that is looking for somebody who's got experience connecting Shopify, again, an e-commerce system, with NetSuite, an ERP system. They're willing to pay domestic rates. They want to work with the domestic team. And so that project will probably be close to $100,000. But it's a very, very experienced team with those platforms. Other examples, we do a lot of websites. We do partner a lot with agencies. Some of my best leads, in fact, are digital agencies that build websites, but don't always have the right skill set in-house. So they need to outsource, or they've just run out of resources, right? They've got 2 programmers who are working 60 hours a week and they can't do any more work. So we supplement and complement those teams. All of my teams are self-sufficient. They do sales as well. They provide project management. They do obviously do the programming, testing, account management. I'm there to help them bring business into those teams that fits their capabilities. So really important for me to make that right match. And I've had a pretty good track record of doing so. And the company, if you look under TrustRef, of course, you can always find me on LinkedIn. Bendit is a pretty easy name to remember, but software would be the keyword to look for in trustref.net. So we have about 6 minutes left. If folks, I will go to the gallery mode. First of all, I don't think I missed anybody, right? I'm a little bit blinded by the light here. So anybody want to bring up a topic for the last 5 minutes or so? I have a need.
Yeah, I want to know what Lisa does. That throwing people from helicopters just got me going.
Lisa Merriam, you've got a question.
Yes. So we have billionaires who can buy anything, and we're giving them an experience they can't buy. So we have 10 SEALs with 10 guys. There might be 1 woman coming with, but we will pick them up from their private jet and take them off into an experience that is not going to be very luxurious.
So Lisa, let me ask you, I don't know whether this is something that I heard from you or someone else, but I heard that there was this new experience being offered in LA where like you said, rich people would be taken to Skid Row and would be housed on Skid Row.
Yeah.
with a van across the street, watching them to know what it's like to live on Skid Row as a resident of Skid Row.
That's interesting. No, we don't do that.
Okay.
Good. I'm sure you
Just
did.
checking.
Although there's drinking.
There's drinking involved. All right.
There's
that's
drinking. You can't do what SEALs do without a little bit of
a little bit of alcohol.
Liquid courage.
yeah, something like, yeah.
Good question. Anybody else got a question that they want to pose to somebody else in the group based on what they had to say, or to me? Our next meeting, by the way, is going to be, as you know, we alternate between Tuesday evenings and Wednesday mornings now. So it will be on Wednesday, which is, I don't know, next Wednesday at 11 a.m. East Coast time. Stacey, you're on mute, but you have your hand up.
So you said Sarita was presenting on the 24th, but the 24th is not a Wednesday or a Tuesday.
No, she's not presenting at this. She's doing her own thing. And if people are doing a webinar or something that they want to promote, that's obviously marketing related, I'd be happy to put it on my newsletter. So you should be getting my newsletter. If you don't open it up the first time, it'll pop up again. So usually 10 hours, 12 hours, 2 days later, whatever. And it has links to things like this. David, what's up?
Hey, Michael, are you doing another event with serialmarketers.net soon?
We will, yeah. We're doing a joint, we call it a marketing salon. That is the third Wednesday of every month at 5 p.m. And the last one we did was about conquering ageism by having a portfolio career. And we had Marnie Gordon, who was a coach. She works with marketing executives and people who, are in the middle of a shift to help them figure out, where to go next, how to go, which route to take. And she helps a lot of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s who were downsized, whatnot, figure out what's next for them. And we don't know who's going to be speaking, but it's all about what's new in marketing. So we are looking for people who've got something to say. And if you think somebody who's got something that's really interesting in the marketing space or would appeal to serial marketers and this group, we'd be happy to consider you as a speaker. It's an hour long, but the speaking is about half hour, 20 minutes to a half hour. And then we do breakouts. Last time we had about 38 people or something. So we did breakout rooms.
Nice.
Yeah. And Rajiv.
Yeah, so I'd like David to kind of share more about what he said about the PR stunt that he threw. You kidnap people or something. It seems very similar to what Lisa's doing.
That's what I was
Kind
thinking
of throw
too.
some more light on that.
Yeah,
Is there a potential partnership? Yeah.
Well, we don't typically do event marketing. So the marketing organization created the event. We publicized it at the event. Right. So, it is a creative idea, but it's not something that we wouldn't have produced it.
Wait, so who did the kidnapping? That's what I want to know.
They hired people that look like, all dressed up in kidnapping gear, right? to literally, and I don't know if you could do this today, probably not, but back then it was, this was in the early days of social media.
Very, very antisocial. Okay, great. So listen, if you want to grab the chat, if you click on the chat and then click on the three dots that come up all the way on the right next to the smiley face, you can save the chat. So there's a bunch of things that people have put in their LinkedIn, etc. Save it now. If you have questions, if you can't remember somebody's name, if you want to take a screenshot so that you can maybe remember their name, do that now, or just ping me. I am traveling in Mexico, but I do check in the morning, usually in the evening, my emails and trying to stay on top of things. So thanks everybody for showing up. Great having you all. And this will be, a recording of this will be, of course, on the YouTube channel, and you'll get a link to it with my newsletter.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good one.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
See you soon.